Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. How are you guys doing today? You staying healthy, staying safe? Sending some love out to you guys out there today. I just brought two books today. I'm going to read from the Daily Book of Positive Quotations, and then I'm going to pick a reading from Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. Simple Ways to Keep the Little Things from Taking Over Your Life by Richard Carlson, PhD, which I've been reading a lot of these readings. I'm going to try to finish it this year. I'm sure I will. So anyway, it seems like I've read more than I have, but when I look through here, I'm like, oh, there's a lot that I haven't read. All right, let me have a sip of water before I get into this reading. Let's see, today is March 29th. I love Sundays. It's like Sundays are always my favorite day. My husband and I go to brunch, and then we come back, and I had the book club live stream today, the True Crime Book Club live stream, and then usually I'll nap afterwards or make some videos, but it just seems so strange anymore. It's like I don't even know, like we didn't go to brunch obviously today. We're not even leaving the house. He's getting ready to go take the dogs for a walk and call one of his friends, and it's just weird. It's like every day just kind of seems the same anymore, doesn't it? Anyway. March 29th, being satisfied. You can never get enough of what you don't need to make you happy. Eric Hoffer. More. We always want more. More possessions, more money, more popularity. Whatever it is we think we don't have enough of. If we just had more, we'd be happy. We should know better. If what we have of something right now isn't giving us any happiness, why should more of it give us happiness? More of nothing is still nothing. Today I will find satisfaction in things I already have. Before I look for more of something, I'll make sure that it is something I know brings me happiness. I think it's a fantastic meditation. I remember years and years and years ago, I had a conversation with my dad, and he was like, if I could have you understand one thing that will save you a lot of money and a lot of like burdens and hassles in your life, it's this back and forth between quality and quantity. And this whole story he explained to me. He's like, when you're growing up and like you get out and you get your first job and whatever, and you don't have a lot of money. And he used the example of televisions. He was like, first you want to have like just a television for your apartment, So you'll just take, any kind of television, hand-me-down television that somebody gives you, or you'll go buy a really cheap television or whatever. And typically you'll have that television like in the living room. Then you save a little bit more money and you're like, you know what, we kind of like to upgrade and get a nicer television. So you go and you buy a nicer television. Well, now you have two televisions, so you move the other television into the bedroom. Well, over time, that doesn't become enough because you want to have a nicer television in the bedroom, right? So you go and you buy a higher quality television. So you have a nicer television in the living room and then a nicer television in the bedroom. So now you have two televisions. But and then the other TV goes to the basement, and over time you upgrade that. Or you think, I need to have a nicer television in the living room. So, then you get a bigger television. And over time, it's like quality, quantity, quality, quantity. And it's not about just accepting what we have and being okay with that, And I've been thinking a lot about that recently. My sponsor and I were talking about this on the phone, and we were talking about this prayer that I was taught when I first, it's not even really a prayer, I guess it's just kind of an affirmation that someone taught me, one of my friends, when I first got sober, and it's help me to want what I already have. And it is a prayer of gratitude, which I talk so much about over here, it's a prayer of looking at what you have, especially right now, I think, I think we always have this need to want to go out and do we need more groceries and whatever. And I even find myself doing that, thinking oh, I'm going to run out of this or whatever. But the reality is we have enough of everything that we need right now that there's no reason for me to go anywhere, And I think you bring it down to the core essentials like that. But then I think when, in just everyday life, we think about what we need and wouldn't it be nice to have a nicer car or this clothing item or this or whatever, thinking that thing is going to bring us happiness. And maybe it does for the moment. And let's just be fair, in all honesty. Maybe ordering it, maybe getting it out of the box when it comes, maybe, or when we buy it in the store, taking it home and looking at it and getting really excited about it. But over time, doesn't it lose that ability? I mean, for me, the things that make me the happiest are memories or laughter in the moment or spending time with people or a good book or a good experience of watching a movie or a television show. things that I buy and I look at, you know, don't really bring me tons and tons of happiness. They might for a moment when I put them on or I wear them, you know, or whatever, but like not over time do they bring me, like it kind of loses the, you know, the sparkle over time, so to speak. So I think it's a good meditation, you know, and realizing that we need to want what we already have, you know, and being grateful for those things that we already have. So that was a great meditation. Okay, let's go in and let's read Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. I'm just going to pick a random one. This one is 58, and it is set Relax. I'm going to put it in my book here. Then I know that I've already read it. Okay, relax. 58, relax. What does it mean to relax? Despite hearing this term thousands of times during the course of our lives, very few people have deeply considered what it's really about. When you ask people, which I have done many times, what it means to relax, most will answer in a way that suggests that relaxing is something you plan to do later. You do it on vacation, in a hammock, when you retire, or when you get everything done. This implies, of course, that most other times, the other 95% of your life, should be spent nervous, agitated, rushed, and frenzied. Very few actually come out and say so, but this is the obvious implication. Could this explain why so many of us operate as if life were one great big emergency? Most of us postpone relaxation until our in-basket is empty. Of course, it never is. It's useful to think of relaxation as a quality of heart that you can access on a regular basis rather than something reserved for some later time. You can relax now. It's helpful to remember that relaxed people can still be superachievers, and in fact, that relaxation and creativity go hand in hand. When I'm feeling uptight, for example, I don't even try to write, but when I feel relaxed, my writing flows quickly and easily. Being more relaxed involves training yourself to respond differently to the dramas of life, turning your melodrama into a melodrama. It comes in part from reminding yourself over and over again, with loving kindness and patience, that you have a choice in how you respond to life. You can learn to relate to your thinking as well as your circumstances in new ways. With practice, making these choices will translate into a more relaxed self. I like that meditation. You know, I've talked a lot on here about how I really struggle with just being relaxed, and that I'm constantly like doing this and doing that and multitasking and blah, 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 blah. And then when I finally sit down to relax, you know, it's like I have a really difficult time doing that. I'm even trying to get through this series on Netflix right now. And I'm really, like, the other day I watched The Tiger King, and I flew right through that in like 2.5 days. But, you know, like, I find myself really having a hard time getting through, you know, something if it's really not that great. Like, for example, a book. Like, I can read a book, and it will take me a day or two if I really like it. But a book that I don't like, it can take me 3 weeks because I, like, lose concentration, and I have a hard time just relaxing, you know? And I have to say, to some degree, if I have any jealousy today in my life, it's, you know, that I find myself like jealous of people that can relax. Like, you know, Alex will go upstairs and he'll watch like 6 episodes of a TV show in a row, you know, or my best friend will say like, oh, I read a whole book yesterday. And I'm like, you read a whole book? She's like, yeah, I just laid outside in the back patio, or I laid on the couch and I just read this book or whatever. And I find that so hard. It's like, I would love just to take like an entire day to do that. But even like yesterday, I didn't film any videos except for putting up my vlog, and I thought I'm just going to relax all day. Well, relaxing to me equates sleep, and so I just slept all day. And then later I felt like I had just slept away the day, and I had like wasted it. But if I hadn't slept, I would have felt like I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. And so for me, it's like I can't find any balance in between the two. So it's a good reading for me because I really need to start learning how to relax more and how to just be in the moment. There's no rush. There's no emergency. You know, but it's so true when they talk about vacations, because for me, like, one of the reasons why I love taking vacations is I feel like I just go and go and go till the moment that we leave, you know, whether it's like packing or buying this or taking the dogs to the hotel, the kennel, we call the hotel, but, you know, or doing this or doing that or whatever, making sure I have everything right. And then as soon as we get to the airport, I can kind of like relax, you know, and I'm going by my candy for the plane, you know, over at the little shop and, you know, whatever. And then I kind of can relax a little bit, like when I get on the plane. But only then do I feel truly relaxed. Like, it takes me up till really that moment, and I just really struggle until then. So it's a good reading. And I'm looking through here, and let's see what other some of these titles are hilarious. Let me just randomly pick another one and we'll read it. Do one thing at a time. This is 62 for those of you that are reading along. Wait, let me mark this down here. The other day I was driving on the freeway and I noticed a man who, while driving in the fast lane, was shaving, drinking a cup of coffee, and reading the newspaper. Perfect, I thought to myself, as just that morning I was trying to think of an appropriate example to point out the craziness of our frenzied society. These are funny how these go together, right? How often do we try to do more than one thing at once? Every day, 24 hours a day. We have cordless phones that are supposed to make cordless phones. Oh my gosh, that took me back. We have cordless phones that are supposed to make our lives easier, but in some respects, they make our lives more confusing. My wife and I were at a friend's home for dinner a while ago and noticed her talking on the phone while simultaneously answering the door, checking on dinner, and changing her daughter's diaper, after she washed her hands, of course. Many of us have the same tendency when we're speaking to someone and our mind is somewhere else, or when we're done 3 or 4 chores, or when we're doing 3 or 4 chores all at the same time. When you do too many things at once, it's impossible to be present moment oriented. Thus, you not only lose out on much of the potential enjoyment of what you are doing, but you also become far less focused and effective. An interesting exercise is to block out periods of time where you commit to doing only one thing at a time. Whether you're washing dishes, talking on the phone, driving a car, playing with your child, talking to your spouse, or reading a magazine, try to focus only on that one thing. Be present in what you are doing. Concentrate. You'll notice two things begin to happen. You'll notice two things beginning to happen. First, you'll actually enjoy what you are doing, even something mundane like washing dishes or cleaning out a closet. When you're focused rather than distracted, it enables you to become absorbed and interested in your activity, whatever it might be. Second, you'll be amazed at how quickly and efficiently you'll get things done. Since I become more present moment oriented, my skills have increased in virtually all areas of my life: writing, reading, cleaning the house, and speaking on the phone. You can do the same thing. It all starts with your decision to do one thing at a time. I like that meditation. And that goes on the heels of relaxing too, you know, and it's like, there are days that like I'll be like, okay, I want to get this project done, I want to do this, I want to do that. I'm just like, okay, enough is enough. You did enough for today, now just relax and enjoy the rest of the day. So I'm going to go and I'm going to relax and enjoy the rest of my day, and I hope you guys are too. And I hope you're staying safe and healthy. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.